Hey Mickey, I figured I would review this, right? Oh, this is Snork, by the way, like you didn't know, right? Because I'm posting this, and yeah, it's me. Anyway, so what I did read this, so I'm not gonna read it to you, which is a very embarrassing thing if you haven't had that happen to you. When somebody reads your story aloud to them, it's like, my ears. So we're not gonna do that, or I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, one thing I noticed is so you have a bunch of kids, right? And they're kids. I don't care what you say. I mean, they're your age, right? But they're kids. Because they're in high school and blah, 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 right? Anyway, and you know that they're kids because she's like, hey, Aaron, stay with me. You have to stay with me. You're my best friend. If you're gone, then it will help me with my homework. So, it's like, okay, homework is one of the first things that come to mind. And obviously, well, if she were older, then there were other things come to her mind. Like, I mean, obviously, you might not be like, oh, we're going to, like, where's my makeout buddy going? Or, you know, that kind of more advanced stuff. But, you know, it would probably be something else, right? So, maybe like, oh, who is going to be paying my bills? I don't know. Anyway, so we have a bunch of kids together, and Aaron is dying, which is not a cool thing if you think about it, because it's like, okay, well, what's going to happen? Because he just got shot. Now, so you have a bunch of kids, and then you have your setting, and that's the thing that I'm wondering about here. And, yeah, okay, let's talk about your setting. You start off, yeah, you thought I wasn't going to read it. I guess I'm going to read a little bit of it, but not too much. So we're going to start off with your setting. You start off in a rainy, desolate area, and let me read it. The beginning. Light rain droplets pattered on the dark pavement, each speck of water enriching the ground. As the rain became heavier and deeper, puddles arose, the drifting water touching upon another liquid. What this other liquid is, who knows? It could be like liquid nitrogen or something, but we don't really know. With the continuous falling of the rain, it became tainted and stained, seeping into puddles of deep red and intertwining with a dark substance. So I guess the liquid is blood. I mean, what else could it be, right? Not like the incandescent oil. That would be neat, but you know. Actually, that would probably happen more in pavement, right? Because if you had pavement, you'll be like, oh, because what pavement's made out of, right, it's like oil, right? So the byproducts of gasoline are put into pavement, which is why when it rains for like the first time in like a couple of months, then you'll actually see, when you look at the pavement and there's puddles forming, you'll actually see puddles that are incandescent and oily. And it's not just because, you know, the cars leak oil, right? It's because the pavement is oil, and it kind of rises when it gets hot, and then when it rains, it kind of washes it away. So that's one reason why you're not driving yet, obviously, but if you were driving, you would be like, you would know that you had to be really careful when it first rains, because otherwise you're more likely to get into an accident because you're going to slip more because there's more oil out there. Now you know, right? Okay, anyway, so then you have the transparent puddles are saturated and darkened as the blood spilled over the ground. And, okay, well, I'll give you that because when somebody gets shot, then they're going to be, there's a lot of blood that comes out. Well, it depends depending on how you shoot, but, you know, usually if it's a death kill or, you know, a fatal kill, there's going to be blood. So, just... yeah, we already knew that though, right? Right. Okay, so let's go on a little bit. So the question is, why is she here? Why are they here? They're a bunch of kids. Why are they out in the rain? Why aren't they playing Nintendo or on their Wii or whatever? Oh, that sounds really bad. Why aren't they playing with their Wii? No, that's really creepy. But, like, why why aren't they on their PlayStation or Xbox? Why are they outside the rain? I mean, it doesn't even seem like they really love each other, or well, they do love each other, right? Because it's like a high school romance thing. But it's not like they're really like, oh, I'm going to make out with you in the rain. It's more like, oh, it's like the beginnings, the blossoming of new love, basically, and innocent love, and then that's what makes this story supposed to be all this tragic quality, right? Because innocent love wasn't allowed to blossom and blah blah blah, right? Okay, so then so the next question is, why are they here? And from what I've read about this, it seems like right now you're just doing this for more of the atmosphere than the actual story. And I'm wondering why, because wouldn't it be more powerful if you had a more typical scene for high schools, right? A typical scene that high school students would be in, and then this guy would die. And another thing I was thinking about, because I think about these morbid things all the time, apparently, but one of the ways that a lot of these high school kids get killed at, right? You know, I mean, these Erin and oh crap, I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot her name, but the girl. Sorry. The girl, Erin and the girl, they seem like good kids. They don't seem like, I mean, they seem like they're talkative, they're intelligent, they don't seem to be getting into trouble. They seem to have all these philosophical conversations, so it's not like they're bad boys or a bad boy and a bad girl together. They seem like normal kids, and they just hang out and everything, so it's not anything bad, right? So I'm wondering, okay, why are they out in the rain then? And wouldn't it be more powerful? I mean, a lot of the times when these innocent sort of kids get killed, right? And it's at school. Because you have the school shootings and all that other awful things, right? Because a lot of, these things happen. So I was wondering, maybe to make this more powerful, I know you're trying to get the atmosphere here. I know you're trying to get the rain and everything. But one thing that you might consider doing, which would maybe make this piece more powerful, is if you had it at a place where normally this stuff did happen. Because you kind of have this quality, right? You have this sadistic character who doesn't care about who he's killing, right? So you have this character that doesn't care about who he's killing, and he's just killing off whoever he can see. And it happens to be Erin, because Erin's just really unlucky, I guess. And he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. But this killer really isn't there, and you can actually make him more part of this story, more essential, more of it. You can make this more of a tragedy if we knew this character, or if we had a feeling, or if we could pinpoint this character and say, oh, that's who he is, that's what he's done, and why did he have to do that, right? So you can have by knowing this killer and knowing what he's done, it can make it a much more tragic, have a much more tragic feeling, because this didn't have to happen, right? This was a sunny day. This was not sunny. This was a rainy day, of course. But one of the things about settings is sometimes what makes it tragic is the fact that it was a typical day, and it didn't have to be like that. I know. How old was I at the time? Oh, I was 13, right? When I saw the Twin Towers fall. So I was about your age. And one of the most horrific parts of the whole entire day was almost everywhere in the United States. It was such a beautiful day. In New York, they had pictures of blue skies and everything, and taken before the towers, before the airplane smashed into the towers. And of course, when the towers came down, they released all this dust and stuff in the air. And so what happened was that the sky became orange and gray because of all the wreckage and everything coming down. So it was really awful, because and people kept on saying that day it was such a beautiful day, and then the Twin Towers fell, and then the ash came from all the burning and everything. So, don't be afraid to use scenery that might not be tragic material, because sometimes what makes it tragic is not it being dark and ominous. Sometimes what makes it tragic is the fact that something awful's happened and yet the sun is shining. Because, I mean, that's just tragic right there, because how can you enjoy life when you've just lost a huge chunk of your life? So, yeah, so that's my critique, basically, and I hope this wasn't too long. Oh, it was kind of long. Anyway, nice work. I like your flashbacks. It's just your setting I'm wondering about. I think you can do more about it. Alright, see you later, Mickey.